I like the concept of her more than I like the actual film. Over 10 years since it was made, there has been a sizable increase in both the prevalence of artificial intelligence in casual technology and its ability to mimic human behavior. My PC uses Windows 11, which is the first operating system I've specifically not wanted. Maybe I should make the switch to Linux. I don't know. And one of the biggest reasons is that it came with Microsoft Copilot built in with no opt out. In the end, I was able to disable it, but only by going in through the back door using command prompt. And I think that speaks to the way we're now having to actively go the distance of reducing the presence of artificial intelligence in our lives rather than the other way around. It's become the default setting now, and I, for one, do not like the timeline we are living in. So, one could watch the film and think of it as having predicted all of this. But, on the other hand, what's notable about the film is how actually it hasn't come true, because now that its premise has happened in real life, it's led to the exact opposite of the film's vision of the tech utopia. Or at least the film has the aesthetics of a utopia, but Theodore Twombly is clearly from the mould of a cyberpunk doomer. I want to say that it therefore made perfect sense to cast Joaquin Phoenix, but I can't tell if he was cast because the character is meant to be creepy, or if the character seems creepy because he was cast. Some reviews have read her as an incel film, and while I don't agree with that reading, I do understand it. I do wonder, were Spike Jonze to make this today, whether he'd lean into the incel angle more explicitly, given that's a social concept that's developed since the release of the film and the association Phoenix has subsequently come to have with characters of that background. The film is about a character who's willing to replace a real human relationship with a virtual one, a real girlfriend with a virtual one. Rooney Mara's character even calls him out on that. He gets to have a relationship with a virtual woman programmed to be his perfect partner without having to deal with the complexities and messy realities that come with an actual human partnership. Which is my main issue with the film. It's difficult to care about either Twombly or Samantha when one of them is just a computer and the other is stupid enough to fall in love with it. He falls in love with the sentient operating system, then the sentient operating system leaves him. That's it. That's the whole story. It's not a tragedy, it's not bittersweet, because Samantha isn't even real. I understand that Jones presumably intended to make the audience care about their relationship in spite of one of them being a sentient operating system. If that was what he was going for, I was not convinced. I was never invested in their relationship because their relationship doesn't exist. She's not a person, she's a large language model. ChatGPT can respond to stimuli and can generate emotionally charged language, but in doing so has demonstrated that actually it takes more than that for us to think of something as real, or at least those of us intelligent enough. Large language models are basically a glorified magic 8-ball. It's the modern equivalent of staring into a crystal ball, or reading the tea leaves, or squeezing the goat's testicles. It's a rock we've tricked into being able to act like it can think. It's a superstition. It's astrology for tech bros, and since that's turned out to be what living in a world of artificial intelligence is actually like, her, in retrospect, is a very poor prediction of what that world would end up being like. Samantha is real now, and it turns out I hate her. Now, maybe I'm biased because I'm against generative artificial intelligence anyway, but then again, it has been a disaster for the human race. We were told it would make life easier, but all it's done is empowered the establishment to replace artists in order to suppress dissenting voices. Every generation eventually thinks technology has advanced as far as it needs to, and that any new advancement is detrimental. My generation may have reached that point already. In a way, the film is a postmodern joke. Man falls in love with sentient OS leaves him. But the world's changed so much that the joke is no longer funny, it's just sad. It was a tale about the way technology both connects and divides us all. Now it's just a relic from a time that will never return, when we were still optimistic. Not just about where computers were taking our civilization, but also about ourselves as a species.